Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to really cut through the noise on important issues. Today we're looking at something vital in Nepal. It's the Khutiya-Dipayal Fast Track. This road, well, it's meant to be a crucial link, connecting Dipayal deep in the far west to the Terai region, which is, much more accessible.
Exactly. And the big question we're tackling, the real core of it is this fast track project actually delivering on its promise of rapid development? Or has it perhaps turned into something closer to a deception for the people it was supposed to help?
Right. We've dug into quite a few sources on this. Our mission, really, in this deep dive is to pull out the key insights. We want to understand the background, how far it's actually come, and crucially, the big challenges it's still facing.
And it started with such a grand vision, didn't it? This idea of a transformative shortcut, a direct path to progress.
Absolutely. But the reality now seems, a lot more complex. It really raises some serious questions about these big infrastructure projects. So yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do that. So the original vision, it was pretty substantial. We're talking about a road roughly 90 kilometers long. The whole point was connecting Khutiya down in the plains directly to Dipayal up in the hills.
And the strategic goal was crystal clear, wasn't it? Provide a quick link for all those hilly districts, Achham, Bajura, Bajhang, Baitadi, Dadeldhura, Doti. Get them connected properly to the Terai, Nepal's southern plains, which is the economic engine, basically.
And the headline goal, the really transformative part, was cutting travel time, dropping it from a really tough 5 hours down to just 2.
Wow. Just imagine that. 2 hours instead of 5. That's a massive leap. Economically, socially, everything.
It sounds fantastic, on paper at least, but then you look at how the project actually started and the costs. It tells a more difficult story.
Okay, so when did this actually kick off?
Well, the initial discussions about upgrading the road, they started around 2070 BS. That's the Nepali calendar, so 2013, maybe 2014. It was being talked about at both the provincial and federal levels.
Yeah.
Then, in 2075 BS, so about 5 years later, the decision was made. Let's do an initial survey, get a detailed project report, a DPR drawn up.
Right, the planning stage. And the cost.
Yeah.
What was the initial figure they were looking at?
The estimate back then was around 5 billion Nepali rupees.
Okay, 5 billion. That's a significant sum, obviously. But for a project like this, maybe justifiable.
You'd think so. But here's the kicker. After about 5 years of actual work on the ground, the spending has already gone past 8 billion Nepali rupees.
8 billion. And it's still not finished.
Not even close, from what our sources say. Completion seems quite far off, still uncertain. And it's not just, a simple cost overrun. It really makes you question the transparency, the whole management of these public funds.
Yeah, absolutely. So billions spent, but what does the road actually look like now? What are the hurdles?
Well, it's a mixed bag, really. The sources say some parts, yes, they have new asphalt, they look okay. But many sections are still described as narrow, winding, and honestly, quite dangerous.
Treacherous, even. So what are the daily challenges like for people using it?
You can picture it, can't you? During the monsoon, huge risk of landslides cutting the road off completely. And then in winter, it's thick dust everywhere. Makes visibility awful, plus the health impacts. Travel isn't just slow, it sounds genuinely risky.
So not exactly a fast track experience for most people then. What are the underlying problems holding it back?
Our sources point to a few key things repeatedly. Delays by the contractors involved seem to be a persistent issue. There's also real concern about a lack of budget transparency. Where has all that money actually gone? It's not always clear. And then there's the issue of political interference. Priorities getting shifted, resources may be diverted. It happens.
Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for eroding public trust, doesn't it? When politics gets in the way of practical progress.
It absolutely does. And that brings us right to the human cost, the impact on the people living there. For them, this isn't just some abstract infrastructure project. Locals, they have this phrase for it. They call it the track of our lives and time.
Wow. The track of our lives and time.
Yeah.
That really hits home, doesn't it? It paints such a vivid picture. This long, long wait for development they were promised. And the daily struggle.
Exactly. Think about the traders trying to get goods to market, students trying to get to school, and critically, ambulances trying to get patients to hospitals on a road that's often dangerous or blocked.
Every delay, every rough patch, it's not just an inconvenience. It's lost time, lost opportunities, maybe even worse.
Precisely. And if you zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture. This slow, troubled progress on the fast track isn't just a local problem. It's holding back the whole region. It's a significant braid on the economic and social development of Nepal's entire far west. stifling potential.
So let's recap where we are. We started with this grand vision, 90 kilometers of fast track, cutting travel from 5 hours to 2. Now we're looking at over 8 billion rupees spent, and that promise of a true fast track. It feels, well, largely unfulfilled for many. It's stark contrast, isn't it? The aspiration versus the reality on the ground.
It really is. And the story of this Khutiya-Dipayal road, I think it tells us a lot about just how complicated these big infrastructure projects can be anywhere, really. It highlights that tricky balance between public patience, how long people will wait, and government accountability, making sure things actually get done.
And the challenge of turning those big, shiny visions into something real, something tangible that actually benefits people.
Yeah, exactly. It's a powerful example of how things like, political issues, lack of clear processes, lack of transparency, how they can derail even really promising ideas.
It definitely makes you think, what does this journey, this specific struggle in Nepal's far west, tell us about other projects? Projects aiming to connect remote regions, not just in Nepal, but, anywhere in the world.
That's the question, isn't it?
How do we make sure that the promise of progress, these big, shiny projects, don't end up feeling like a deception? How do we make sure they actually deliver for the people they're supposed to serve?